Hi, welcome to Transmission Hour, Boston's best music. I'm your host, Tim Casey. Tonight we'll be hearing from a great country western quartet rounded up by Jon Macey and Steve Gilligan. We'll be talking to them later on in the show, but for now, let's hear some music from Jon Macey and Steve Gilligan.
Light up, sisters and brothers, right up to each other, one way or the other, we got to love each other, fake it till you make it, as long as you don't break it, oh, you won't mistake it, as long as you can shake it. Funny how we run and run, but never outrun anyone. Amazing how we chase and chase, but never wind up any place. Whoa, a brighter sun is shining, a better road is winding, out into tomorrow, only few will follow. Funny how we run and run, but never outrun anyone. Amazing how we chase and chase, but never wind up any place. Whoa, you know that time is coming, thou must gather something, 'cause nothing comes from nothing, and everything under the sun. Yeah, fake it till you make it, as long as you don't break it, oh, you won't mistake it,
Welcome to Transmission Hour, Steve and John.
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you. I loved the show. That was great roots music.
Thanks.
Great country
Yeah, it was a
music.
good time.
Yeah, we everybody that was there. We had a short staff that day, and I think you guys did pretty well considering how we kept throwing ladders around you while you were, trying to tune up and wondering, is something going to fall on my head, But thank you for coming. Yeah, I usually ask this from everybody on the show just because it's interesting to me. What are your earliest, one at a time, musical memories? Like something that just turned you on to music as young as you can think of.
Well, I had the room next to my brother who was 8 years older than I was. So I'd be falling asleep and hearing the Everly Brothers and Roy Orbison coming through the walls. And that's what he was listening to, that stuff, and Ricky Nelson. And he had the 45s, and I was only 7 years old or whatever. And then in 1964, my parents had a party, and they were going to show the Beatles on Ed Sullivan that night, and we'd all heard about it in school. So we weren't allowed to come down to the party. And my father saw us, my sister and I, sitting at the stairs. And we said, well, at least we can hear from here. So he said, come on down. We went down and parked ourselves right in front of the TV. It's a classic story of hearing the Beatles.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have anyone professionally musical in my family, unlike John.
Oh.
John has a family history of professional musicians.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my grandfather was a professional country singer. We come from upstate New York, so it's upstate New York style country, but it's pretty rural.
Yeah.
40s and 50s.
Wow.
So clearly my first exposure to all of it was that.
Wow.
And they were playing, Hank Williams songs and, Lefty Frizzell, the whole mid-50s. I mean, I was born in 1954, so obviously I was absorbing it, but to hear these things, including my grandfather's radio acetates, that's what I grew up with.
Oh my
So
gosh.
pure country music, hard country music comes very natural to me.
Yeah.
I come down here, moved down here in the 60s, didn't know one person that liked music like that. I thought it was a joke or I was kidding or something.
Yeah.
But I wasn't kidding.
No. Thank God you weren't kidding. Yeah.
Driving rain, you threw out the rain. You can't believe, so you have to pretend. Frozen smiles laced with guile. Mercy in heaven, it's happened again. You trust in eyes, can't see their lies. You fool yourself, so it's no surprise. High and low, all it will show. By their fruits you will know them. Now friends, they're concerned, they're taking their turn. That's right, John. Phone call, shoulder, unheeded advice. But all you can hear are his whispers in your ear. Well, hey, listen, baby, this won't happen twice. Your loving heart is in the past. They kicked you, they tricked you with the curses they cast. High and low, all it will show. By their fruits you will know them. By their fruits you will know them. Scattered below them, demons a skin so pale. She would cry when she'd listen to the poet's tale, to the poet's tale. She would dance in mornings, mist her arms spread open wide. Then the sun would rise above the clouds, and she would run and hide. She was born an angel in the devil's snare. She was Gordon's daughter, and I knew her well. Yeah, I knew her well. In the midst of twilight, I watched her fade like a ghost at midnight. We drift away, yeah, we drift away. She would dance in mornings, mist her arms spread open wide. Then the sun would rise above the clouds, and she would run and hide. She was born an angel in the devil's snare. She was Gordon's daughter, and I loved her well. Yeah, I loved her well.
I was going to ask you about the songs. Are these all originals, or some of them traditional songs, or
All originals.
Yeah,
they're all
they're
originals?
all originals.
You
yeah.
got it down. You got
Yeah.
it down, because a couple of them, I just thought, oh, they're doing traditional songs
Right,
now. That's
yeah.
nice. I love these songs. Wow, that's incredible.
A couple of them, we outright just sat down and started from scratch and wrote together,
Wow.
including the title cut.
Right.
Holy cow.
But I think so. We made our album, Everything Under the Sun,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, and we had really just started doing
Right.
this duo. We talked about it quite a bit. We both loved the Louvin brothers, the Everly brothers, and then how that evolved into things like the Flying Burrito brothers, Graham Parsons and Chris Hillman, doing sort of their version of that in the rock country context. But that close harmony, two guys, mandolin and guitar thing, I hadn't realized, Steve, played, we played in a couple of bands together. I didn't know he played the mandolin. I knew he was a...
I don't.
Oh, you can't say that. No.
I knew he played acoustic music because he was in a number of different acoustic-based bands.
Right.
Remember I said to you I was going to stop playing acoustic stuff?
Yeah.
We were already in Fox Pass together, and he played mandolin. It's like, wow, we should do some shows. I mean, really just started like that. We have another band. We're doing that all the time.
Yeah.
We did the acoustic thing. We both loved that thing. So like you said, we wrote a few songs together. He pulled some of his, some of my songs. And we did it in a very conscious, right. It's a compliment to say they sound like traditional songs, because we were trying to do that.
Yeah. But that was, I could have sworn those were traditional, the ancient songs, I thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there is an ancientness to them.
Yeah.
And we were trying to go back into that.
Yeah.
Like You Will Know Them was one of the songs we wrote together. Obviously, it's that biblical quote, which is so, common in old country music by Carter family. By their fruits you will know them. We actually wrote the song around that line.
On that line, yeah.
Because it's the punchline, but it's a love song. So it's the advice to the woman who's not paying attention to these people that are deceiving her
Yeah.
by their fruits. And it's exactly how a song like that would have been done.
Yep.
We were, we listened to those types of songs and wrote those changes and put those harmonies in there and had a blast doing it.
Yeah, it sounds like both of you got that in your DNA anyway.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can fake it that well.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't. You can't.
reach the promised land? Will I die alone? Please take this wretched soul, carry me home. just talking. Pretty soon you'll be walking back. Lately I've been hearing things aren't quite the same. Lately you've been staying out and saying I'm to blame. All you gotta do is call my name. You live on in this trailer park is growing all on you. I'd rather have you tell me now than hear it from your sister Sue. And if you backed another man to promise you the world, I'd like to meet that son of a bitch. You know he's just talking, I know he's just talking. Pretty soon you'll be walking back. Lately I've been hearing things aren't quite the same. Lately you've been staying out and saying I'm to blame. All you gotta do is call my name. Yeah, all you gotta do is call my name. All you gotta do is call my name.
How about the trailer park song? All you gotta do, because this where you sound like Orbison.
Talk about picking up influences through real life experiences. My sister, back in the early to mid 70s, lived in a trailer park in a town outside of Aspen called Basalt. And so I drove out with my brother to visit her and spend a couple weeks at this trailer park, you know, and there are people having relationships and all kinds of stuff. So the seed for that song is actually, 35 years old.
Wow.
But I didn't write it until, 20 years ago, something like that. I've had it for a long time, but I remembered that incident and those people who are probably gone by now, and so and that's where that came from.
Gordon's daughter. Now I was going to ask. I was going to ask two things about it. I thought, number one, that was an ancient song again, you know. So, but if you wrote it, who is Gordon's daughter?
I'd like to know.
I would.
That was a song that I had just gotten the mandocello, and it was a brand new instrument to me. And it fingers the same as a mandolin, but it's an octave and a half below it. And so I was just fooling around and came up with the riff for it, and Gordon's daughter just came out. It probably took 5 to 10 minutes to write. And it's like, I got something here, quick, get some paper. And so I can remember what I'm thinking. And because that is a tough thing these days.
Yeah.
and it just came right out.
Wow.
So I don't really know Gordon's daughter.
Yeah.
I'd like to, or I would have liked to have. But,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Plus, it has a medieval sound to it, don't you think?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, the mandocello sounds like a medieval instrument.
Yeah.
And his riff there is very, to me, because it could have been written in the 1600s.
Yeah.
I think that's also
That's
part,
what I was thinking,
part
yeah.
of, old country music in the United States, goes all the way back to Europe,
Yeah.
obviously. It goes right back into those times, the ballads.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years old of influences. So yeah, right. It was probably in the instrument. It came out. You know, you touched it, and there it comes.
And
you
there
know.
it comes, yeah.
It's
sure.
magical. It's like a sprite. It's inside the thing.
Yeah.
And there it is. You know, play me, thank you. Well, I mean,
Wait, that's true, and a new instrument is always good for that.
right.
Get a new guitar, chances are there's at least one song hiding in there with your name on it.
Yeah.
You know, different song if it's somebody else who bought it. But the Mandocello, John wrote a song called "Someone to Care About You," which to me, when I first heard it, sounded like almost like a pop song. You know, this could be done as a pop thing, but brought the Mandocello to it and almost gave it a samba beat or and it completely changed how what my first impression of that song was.
Yeah.
You know, stylistically.
Yeah. I heard a bit of pop in that one
Yeah,
too.
right.
You know.
right.
Yeah. So that
Great,
could you know, in a different style or context, could
yeah.
definitely be a power pop type song.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Wouldn't like it that way though.
Yeah.
But
Well, now we hear it. Now
I like
we
it
hear
this way.
Now we hear it this way.
Yeah,
Right?
we don't play country music.
Yeah.
We play, you know, this combination of all these different things that we've been exposed to that end up coming out of us. You know, I guess people call it Americana these days, but what does that mean anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's what John and I do and what we come up with.
Yeah, to me, I mean, we do a couple like You Will Know Them, which are probably really into like the real old time country music.
Yeah.
But to me, hard country would be a little more further down the road than what we're actually
Right.
doing. I think there's still that Everly Brothers and, you know, whatever else you want to call it. Like I say, Roy Orbison. There's a lot of other things in there. Everything else we do, all the other things we learned and have played is all in there. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, music is so categorized. And
Yeah,
it-
I know, it's a shame.
I mean, I think it's sort of acoustic
Right.
folk duo.
Right.
You know.
It's John and Steve music.
Right. Because we
That's
do
what
veer
people
off.
say.
We didn't do it. We played a lot of songs. Basically, the whole thing that we did on the show, everything's from the album.
Yeah, that was just
Right,
about the whole album.
Yeah. I mean, but we do other things on stage. We do veer off in even other directions.
Yeah.
On stage.
I wanna take you to the borderline. Run away with you, sweet love of mine. Fade with you in the grand design. At the borderline, at the borderline. Where the rolling stream meets the great white pine. A waking dream at the edge of time. Play with you in the grand design. At the borderline, at the borderline. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Gonna take you to the border line. Run away with you, sweet love of mine. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba da 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 da.
She did have teardrops like diamonds. She had tears that fell down like tears. How she cried when she looked down on me. Felt I had known her for years. It was only an hour ago we met on the downside of town. She said she had no place to run to as her penance for running aground. So I brought her back here to the lowlands, and I showed her where Jesus had slept. I lay down on the floor, barely breathing. She stood over me and she wept. Oh, she did have teardrops like diamonds. She had tears that fell down like tears. How she cried when she looked down upon me. I felt I had known her for years. There's a moment in time when you've just passed your pride. You realize the rest is downhill. Up ahead, you see nothing but fear. And each road that you chose led you here. She didn't have teardrops like diamonds. She had tears that fell down like tears. Oh, she cried when she looked down on me. I felt I had known her for years.
And the big one, Emma in the Dance. Well, it just seemed like an epic.
When I wrote Emma in the Dance, I initially was trying to write almost a Civil War song. So that drop D tuning, that strum, it's almost very Stephen Foster-like. Johnny comes marching home. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I was thinking. And I actually said, okay, I'm going to pick an old name. I know Emma's a new name now too, but it's, I actually, you can go and
Been around.
you can Google names what was the most common woman's name in 1860? Emma.
Oh my
Go in any
gosh,
graveyard. Go look
Right.
at
Yeah,
the
go
old
look at the
graves.
graves.
So I picked
Which
Emma
is fun to do.
because I thought the song, and then I started writing a story that was supposed to be deliberately antiquated with that music. Now, what ended up happening, though, is, and it happens to me all the time, is the story started to tell itself, and it became actually what started out, I envisioned as sort of this old soldier looking back and telling the story. Instead, it becomes a rather confusing tale because you can't really tell which character is which, and it's obviously about intense regret.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And the person singing the song at the beginning is singing the same thing at the end with a tale in the middle. So heartbreak, regret, a lot of other things in that song. So that, I'll tell you, that stuff all just kind of came out.
Wow.
So again, I sometimes swear to God that sometimes these songs are writing themselves,
Yeah, they do.
and you're listening.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I heard that because that was not my intention with that song. It
Yeah.
really wasn't. But when I got that strum, which I felt like, again, was a summoning, the strum started to write the song.
Wow.
I was like, what's this? Because the weird drop D chord, when I start playing the E minor and the G, but leaving the drop D in there, well, it's actually an E with a capo, but whatever.
Yeah.
That tension, that sound was actually dictating the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Precious Emma, the sun will rise again. Darling angel, the tide will turn and then the way of heaven, who knows the reasons why. We all fall down and we cry. We fall in love and we sigh. Who knows the reasons why? I remember the queen of the dance floor. I said I loved you. You said you needed more. How I wanted to be dancing there with you. I tipped my hat. How'd it do? He kissed your hand as you swoon, dancing there with you. found you crying, hiding in disgrace. Tears of shame rolling down your face. Precious Emma, you wanted to believe. Your virgin love was deceived. I know how it feels to be wanting to believe. Precious Emma, the sun will rise again. Darling angel, the tide will turn and then the way of heaven, who knows the reasons why we all fall down and we cry. We fall
Who were the drummer and the bass player, and where'd they come from? What are their backgrounds like?
So Steve Lytle on drums, Steve Corbett on bass are actually guys that played with me in a band called Macy's Parade about 15 years ago.
Wow.
So through half of the 90s, I had that was my band, Macy's Parade. It's right around the same time Steve and I got together and formed the Bittersweets with Sal Baglio, which was right after that, mid-90s. So that was the rhythm section. And I've stayed in touch with these guys, and as we, like I mentioned earlier, Steve and I have tried a few different rhythm sections, because, we play live. You really need a little bit more than just the two of us.
Yeah.
And so as we started coming towards this TV show, I just thought, let's use these guys. I mean, I knew that they could play this kind of music, and they're good guys, and obviously they can do it. So that's...
Was that the type of music you were doing with them in the 90s, or?
Macy's Parade actually did a lot of acoustic music as well as rock music, yeah. So we were doing, not quite to this degree, but we were doing acoustic bass, rock, whatever it wasn't really rock. I mean, people probably thought it was country music.
Yeah. Well, back in the 50s, it was hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, so they knew the vibe, they had the record, and believe it or not, that was the first time they played with us. Live.
No way.
Yeah, we did 2 rehearsals.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Two rehearsals.
Well, 2 rehearsals isn't a lot, but still.
So that was the first performance as a
Yes.
quartet captured on film.
And then we played just Thursday night. We did our first live show, which
what
also
was
went
that?
very well at Sally O'Brien's.
Oh, okay.
So we hope to actually do more shows now as a quartet.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys. You both seem so busy. You're
Yeah.
doing everything in all these bands. It seems like
We are busy.
but you still have time to play out in
Yes.
this act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I suspect we'll be playing more with those 2 guys. It sounds really good.
Oh, it was. I can't believe it was 2 rehearsals and then 1 performance. Because wow.
I think I made more mistakes than they did.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Anything go wrong with them? Oh gosh. Well, thanks so much for being here, guys. Because I had a great time. I love that music down in my soul. I was so happy to be able to record it and mix it and now I get this beautiful film of you guys. So thank you very much for being here.
It was our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Great to have us
Excellent.
down here. We love doing it.
Yes.
Good, good. Hope to have you again.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed Jon Macey and Steve Gilligan as much as we have here at BNN. Keep your eyes open for the next transmission hour, where we'll bring you more of Boston's best music. Until then, I'm your host, Tim Casey. Thanks for tuning in, and keep watching the skies.
That's right.